one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. Stopping by my channel. Much love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my grown extended beautiful family. Just thank you so much for the love and support. We're all going through different things, and it's just our trials and tribulations will basically reflect the things that we didn't even notice about ourselves before. And you will be truly grateful for those experiences. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings. Love and light and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe, hit my notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. And if you are comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me. Even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift and how it impacts your life and heading you towards a positive direction. If you feel like the videos are very uplifting, informative, or just give you good vibes, you would love to share with a loved one, family, or friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through trying times at the moment and just needing confirmation or validation in life path, or even soul purposes, or just spiritually needing spiritual guidance. So with that being said, thank you for the support. It's so appreciated on so many different levels, and I love y'all so much. And thank you so much for the support as well. The music I'm listening to in the background is called chill out music for stress relief, relaxing music, 432 hertz, miracle healing frequency, inner peace. And I will post that link in the description box below. Y'all, if y'all hear like little cartoon stuff in the background, I'm making sure I try not to get copyrighted for those. My granddaughter's in the background playing with her little tablet to keep her occupied. First off, I would love to tell y'all, well, I would like to tell y'all, I apologize for getting so emotional in my last video. I've been feeling a lot of people lately. And, I try my best just to send as much uplifting comfort that everybody possibly needs. I know we're all going through very intense changes where we're being tested by things that, it could be triggered towards us. And that's the universe's way of reflecting to know that the things that trigger you are the ones that make you stronger. But the video I'm doing right now for today is called Twin Flame 101. Heyoka's You Became the Storm You Were Placed In. Like I said, when I always talk to people or just talk amongst myself with, the universe and everything like that, it's like a lot of things that I might come out and say. It can be something that can give me the most chills from it when it shoots from your head all the way to women from your feet all the way up to your head and start itching. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and talk about that. We're all sent in the storms. There's a lot of times, we reflect we reflect you know strength, we reflect power, we reflect our own magic at times, and a lot of people admire that. Some people envy that, and a lot of times we don't understand why we have to simply go through so many hellish things. Why does everything got to be so heavy? Why does everything got to be so extra? Why when I love somebody, I don't really get that back? Or why when I try my best to be positive towards everything that comes along my path, I'm constantly tested? And those are the things that has to go down like that. And a lot of times you're going to have good days, and a lot of times you're going to go through a lot of bad days. There's a lot of times it's going to be very quiet, and there's a lot of times you might feel like you're surrounded. You're trying to find your peace within the chaos that constantly surrounds you. And a lot of times life does not seem fair. It's all about how we tend to look at things. When you can go back and look at how everything was before you went through your spiritual awakening, or how your spiritual awakening has changed so many aspects of your life, how you viewed a lot of things. And at times you may hate what you're going through, and you're like, you be asking universe, you're trying to give bribe, what I'm saying, like little kids do. Well, if I do this all week, can I please go outside? Or like that. We tend to do that, and it's not like how universes work. That's not how God works. We all go through things. There's a purpose behind everything we go through. And it just allows you to see all the things that you have endured, not through this just this time period, but a lot of times when you're coming close to knowing yourself on so many different levels, sometimes your past life memories will come up and, collide with the ones from, your current. And it will allow you to be able to see how your strength is, uh placed you in a whirlwind of issues, but then I'll allow you to see the blessings in disguise for that. There's a lot of times, I might have issues about certain things because the challenges become very challenging, and I had to allow myself to, add a bar to my my routine. Stop doing everything repetitive. If you don't add different things into your life, you tend to get, bored. Or, there's things that happens where you have to be in that time of solitude. And sometimes you don't like being by yourself. Sometimes it's just the fact of being lonely makes you more lonely. But those are the times that the universe is like cutting off everything around you, because the universe needs your undivided attention about the things they're trying to break away from you, things that you really need to see at a different perspective. Understand there's a bigger picture for the things that you have to endure on a daily basis, and a lot of times we feel like things are heavy because you're getting tried with things that you love. It's just at times I feel, you know, uh, in my feelings at times when it's like when it's, I'm being tested with my children. I had to go through a lot of changes in life. I try to make things a lot better. I've exposed my kids to a lot of things, and all of us have these different mindsets where we have like these coping mechanisms, or it makes us draw back to our old selves. So it's just like, I don't try to place blame on other people about the things that I did, because there's a lot of times I was going by the things that I saw, but there was all, they then I started going by things that it was just instant reaction because I was, I've been like that for so long. And it's like after I've been through these different things and finding out the truth about my life, I had to allow myself to bravely reflect the things and come to terms with things that I did not like going back on. Or, allowing my being more open with my children, because it's like, with them growing up, I never told them about, how I grew up. I never told them about things, my kids were always like, Mom, why don't you ever talk about, the things that happened when you were a little girl? And it was just, that would be my emotional trigger, because it was like, I didn't want to talk about that because I always thought everything was my fault. And, and then it was just like things that has happened to me when I allowed myself to be around my mom's ex-husband and his wife. I didn't want my children looking at them, in that way, because I had to try to understand. I thought everything had something to do with me. I'm the one who triggered all those things. But, even though I tried my best to do that, they would always make sure that my kids knew the things that I did, but they would always neglect the fact that the other side of the story of what made me do certain things in life. So, I had to start from the things that, no more secrets, no more deception, not no more skeletons in my closet, and it felt so good when I was allowing myself to face things that was very uncomfortable for me. Being able to understand how things had to go. I had to break that cycle of what I've been exposed to, what I've taught of, because it came to times where when my children needed to be comforted after a certain age, I wasn't able to do that because I never knew how to do that, because it's like after like, age 13, or actually age 14, or even before that, right before, they were in their teenage years, I could never comfort them. And it was very hard for me because I always was grown up like, you should never cry, you should never be sad, no, regardless what has been done to you or what people said about you, you have to get over it. So it was like I always pushed my children away. And, and I ended up having to pay for that. So I had to really, walk that fine line, being able to understand, if they act a certain way, I kind of like press that on them. But there's at times as well as that, my mom's ex-husband his wife did that as well. They tried to make me look like the evil villain. So it's just like a lot of things. I had to allow myself not to worry about what people say like that. When you're threatened by other people, or they want desperately as the way they see you, they want everybody else to see you as the same way. So I had to allow myself to become a piece of that. Being very responsible of the things that I did, the way I acted. At times we feel like, well, we didn't have a choice, and sometimes you don't. But most of the time you have a choice on how you do things. And I used to tell my friends, I don't really know how to love my kids. I didn't. Got my kids, and I had my children at an early age, so I would know what love felt like. But after it came from a certain age, it was hard for me to do that. And people that were close to my mom, they were like, well, you feel like she didn't love you. And it's not that. I just didn't have that picket white fence type love. It was, my mom was never that type of person that showed a lot of affection after a certain age. And I had to understand. Now I can sit back and understand why certain things took off the way they did. My mom was going through, very hectic depression from what her husband has done. So it's just like going on this path. It allowed me to see different things in my life that was very harsh, very cold, very, somber, or whatever you want to call it. Anything that was just harsh and was just, ugh, and I had to allow myself to learn from those things, allowing myself to not repeat this pattern, because I have a granddaughter now. Never want my granddaughter to know the experiences of what I put her mom through, and she ends up taking that out on my granddaughter. So I try to help her out along the way. I try to be a better person I am today. I know I can't change the things from the past, but when you're making an effort to not allow those things to happen, you know, um, it allows you to see a lot of beauty within the ugliness that we have to face. Strength comes from amazing places that you least expect it. Be careful, baby. I don't want you to fall. So, going through all those different things in life, even when I, connect with y'all, it's a beautiful blessing, because it's like y'all learn stuff off of me and I learn stuff off of you. A lot of times I can see things just to be able to understand it. That gift can be very overwhelming at times, because I feel like, if these people want me to know certain things about their life, I want them to give me that chance to tell me on their own. I don't never want to pry in people's stuff, because there's a lot of times where, people send me text messages or send me emails or even voice chats or, video chats. I can feel the energy that they carry, the things that they heal. And I guess it's just in a way, in an indirect way, that gift is like not to be able to pry into their darkness, into your darkness, but it's just being able to understand what you went through, so I can be able to relate to you and be able to help you in that way, like I'm going through it. That Heyoka thing, we dive deep. We always want to be that curiosity, carry that curiosity of, okay, how can I heal? How can I allow myself to come to terms with the things that's taking place? Because I can't just say, okay, I'll get over it. You have to really, dive deep and understand why certain things had to transpire the way they have in your life, and being able to, take that and turn it around, not being ashamed of the things that happen, being able to take responsibilities for your own actions, and your own actions, only, not, allowing yourself to be able to make the changes where you see that you need to have that change, become stronger in the things that has really have put you in your emotions. Because there's a lot of times, I could be, cleaning, or just meditating at times. Some, harsh things will come back up, and it will be like, it was like a bite in the butt. But then I had to allow myself to know these situations does not, I don't own those anymore. These situations has got me to on my path, for me to be able to understand my purpose, understand the mission that I'm partaking in, understanding why these things had to happen for me to be able to come on this mission. And there's a lot of people, we really went through it. It's like, oh my God, dog, this is only the third month of, third month of the millennial. It's just the millennial is just all about reflection. It's all about harshness of truth. You being able to face the things that you have ran from, coming to terms with things that has hurt you to the core. And, these are the things that you had to go through. It's not, these things is not supposed to be, your journey's not supposed to be where you're just hard as a shell and just being mad at everything and not being able to do it. Because a lot of times, when the visions come to me and I be able to help people at times, sometimes we don't realize it's not going to go to the T of the things I'm saying. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. It can be like a metaphor of something. We're all going on a path. We're all going to seek knowledge at a deeper level. We're trying to understand ourselves within the collective, being able to see how can I strengthen myself, how can I allow myself to be having a peace of mind without all the harshness that I've experienced in life keep harping over me. You have to be able to allow yourself to know you deserve happiness, you deserve to feel love from the world. And at times when you have experienced things in life, it makes you feel like when good things come, it's like you feel like, what's the catch? I trust me, I get like that. I be like, where the heck is Ashton Kutcher? Don't be trying to punk me. I ain't got time, And it's like at times when I see what's taking part in my life, and I see the changes that take place in my life, it feels surreal to me. What you doing? You making noises? It feels so surreal to me. Like, am I really going through this? Is these things really happening? Am I really doing this? Uh, where other people can relate to the things that went through. A lot of times we can be in our own world and just want to just reflect on those things at all times. But it's like you can have your emotions, you can feel your way, being able to be vocal about the things that has taken place in your life that may have made you mad or may have pissed you off, or made you view people different, made you want to close off from people because it made you not trust people. And there's people I do really go on one with. And, I'll be patient with that. I'll tell them real quick, you're not used to a person like me. I'm not saying everybody judges you, but there's a lot of times that, certain people have placed you in this, on this path for you to be able to look at people different. And, sometimes it's hard for you to see people that are very genuinely involved in your life and not wanting something like interior motives, not wanting to hurt you, violate you in any kind of way. There's actually people that really care about you and really care about your well being. And being able to it's like an advocate, empath advocate, that's what I'm gonna start calling it. Where being able to let there's no, I don't judge, I don't do that. The only thing I do is tell people to respect my boundaries, respect how you talk to me, respect how you deliver your messages, because I never want people to feel out of place when I talk to them. I'm very blunt, but be very discerning as well, being mindful of how I project things, because your words can really hurt. I try not to talk to people when I'm angry, or people feel like they need to go ahead and bring a bone to me. There's times that I don't put people in check for that. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way. You're not going to do anything. I grew up like that. And so it's just at that point, I feel like we all can discuss things. We can all agree to disagree. But everybody's not going to agree with everything you say. I get that. I'm not, I don't trip off of things like that, but it's just all about, how certain people, they can be very threatened because of your strength. And and some people want to knock you down the sides, and I'm like, no, not me. You're not gonna do that to me. you know I do what I do because I do what I do, and I love what I do. It's not about belittling anybody. I don't want to keep throwing things in your face that you already know that you're trying to part ways with. I never do that. And a lot of people, like, they admire me for that, because you never boast or throw in my face about our shortcomings. I'm like, well, you know what happened, right? And they were like, yeah, okay, then why do I got to remind you of that? I want to be able to remind you of, even though you went through these things, you still deserve love. You still deserve kindness. You're very strong. And a lot of times we don't give ourselves that credit of us being strong. We have, you know, part ways with a lot of things because we feel different. We don't understand at times. It's just a blessing that when you have came towards me. A lot of y'all have been on your path for a while. Some are just now starting to find out what they are at a deeper level. And that can be very scary, especially if you don't understand what's going on in your life. And I'm glad that I got that platform to be able to help so many people. you know um like I said before, I didn't mean to get emotional like that. It's just when I connect with people, I feel them at a extremely deep level. And a lot of times I can understand, there, like I said, there are certain times I can talk to people and I get these flashes. And it's crazy that it doesn't always have to be, you know, conversating like talking on the phone. I can do it just with people, you know, sending me videos. Or I get like that when people send me text messages. I'm able to read that, and it's even funny when my enemies, my reflections, my reflectors do that to me and they think they're getting over and I start busting out laughing like I smell the BS before you even get ready to purse your mouth out to what you're gonna say. And half of the time I don't call you out on it, but I know, and that lets me know, hey, let me just allow myself to step back. Like people are all like, oh, Roslynn, I'm so sorry I didn't call you. I've been this and this and that, and that starts getting repetitive. Even though there have been times, that I might have talked to somebody every day, and then things start going apart, and I don't even I'm already pushing myself back further and further and further. I said, I get that. I mean, it's okay. And while you're doing that, I mean, I don't feel like it's a bad thing. Before I used to, it's like I'm tired of getting connected with these people and then they use me or they have interior motives. Be careful. Interior motives, or they're trying to see how they can be able to block me from certain things. It's at that point now that when I feel that, I'm just like, I'm not even going to allow myself to even get very serious about it. I'm going to just allow you to have your space. But you don't have to give no excuses because I'm not gonna give none when I just walk away. I'm just like, hey, you might have said something, but your energy said something totally different. I'm good though. I don't have no ill will feelings towards you. You do you and I do me. But I'll pray for that person and make sure whatever they had to do just for them to have those interior motives toward me, I want them to be able to heal from that. But I'm gonna keep doing me. I love what I do. There's a lot of people that appreciate, connecting with me and like I appreciate connecting with them. I'm very humble. I don't feel like I'm arrogant or conceited over anything, no matter who I'm related to. This is my purpose. I went through very extreme situations in my life, and being able to place that on somewhat of a view spotlight pedestal or whatever that other people can be able to relate to. And it's like I say a lot of times it's not easy for people to help you if they never experienced the harshness along their path like you have. They can tell you stuff all day, but it's just like it's different when you know that somebody can relate to what you have experienced in life. And you try to be able to make that peace within yourself, because sometimes it's hard, especially if you've gone through things for so long. It was with me, I used to talk negative all the time, and then I had to allow myself to say, you know what, you deserve happiness. And even though people are breaking their neck to try to make sure that allow them to do that, because it's just like they're showing you about how they feel about themselves. Nobody, people need healing when they go out their way to try to make sure everybody feels the way they feel about how you are. That lets you know more than anything. They half of the time they need more healing than you do, but we are all sent in those paths just to be that example, to be able to say, yeah, I went through this, I went through that. But guess what? This is not what I am. This is not what, even though these people tried to do this to me, they tried to mold me out of something of what they did to me. But I'm gonna allow myself to be that example to say, yes, this has happened to me, but this situation has made me so much better. There's a lot of times I not even a lot of times, but all the time, when I can admire how people can do the things like I do, and being able to let people know, I went through this, I went through that. I wasn't always successful, and they're doing things. And they said after they went through those things, and when they finally got where they wanted to be, they wanted to make sure other people can do the same things they're doing, you know. And when I allow myself to really, when I allow myself to go through meditation, I'll let myself go through, look at the things that you have been through, look at the things you've endured. You It's like when you allowing yourself, at times we feel like we want to escape everything and jump ship, especially when you're dealing with certain situations, certain relationships, certain people, certain family members, and all that stuff. You want to break away, but then it's like the universe box you and cut off all resources. But you have to allow yourself to endure this. It's just like when it comes to my uh my relationship with my ex and stuff like that. When I can allow myself to say, you know what, even though this situation has put me through a whirlwind, I would never think a person that I cared about this deeply would be that main person and reflect to me what insecurities and what ugliness and what lack of that person has for love for themselves, that they would push that out on me. this situation wasn't supposed to break me. This situation, I wasn't supposed to, fix it. It was supposed to fix me. It was supposed to help me fix myself by how I see myself. How much love did I give myself when I gave so much to other people? Is that love, that vibe being reciprocated, or are you sacrificing things that you shouldn't be sacrificing? You see that they're not, respecting you as well as the relationship that y'all, you're supposed to be in. That's when you have to allow yourself to respect yourself and know that just because this happened to me, that lets you know I would never let anybody else do that to me, you know. Um, and it's not like I shut myself off from the world, from like dating or anything like that. But I'm on a mission of clearing myself. I want all my excess baggage gone. So it's, I used to be that type of person that, when I felt lonely, I would jump into another situation just so I didn't have to allow myself to be thinking about the other one. And then it was just like, I'm not being fair to that person I'm dealing with, and I'm sure not being fair to myself. Those are the times when you have gone through something very rough, that you have to take that time out for yourself, go through that grieving period, allowing yourself to know this is the end with this. Let me allow myself to heal, because you don't want to get into a relationship that is like your life partner, your husband or your wife, the things that you always wanted, and then you jumped yourself into that, and you end up messing up because you're still holding on baggage from the old toxic relationships you have, and that could have been, your life partner of a lifetime, and you messed it up because you were still hanging on to things that should have been let go of. That's why a lot of times we get pissed. I even get mad, but that I had to allow myself to see these situations you're being placed in is going to give you the strength you never knew that you ever had. It will remind you of everything that was forgotten in your life, and it will allow you to see the things that it said, because it's so easy to look at everything negatively. You can have every bad thing saying about your circumstances that you're in. You know, universe and God knows what you want. They know your situation. Don't think that they're dumb or blind to it. They know. They see the people. They see the people that. Hold on, child. Here, say thank you. Thank you. Okay, sit up. Don't drink that laying down. Um, you okay? Okay. Yeah. So it's just like going through all those things. Every time I ask, I say, I'm glad that you put me through these things. I am, I know there's a lot of things that has been done and been said without me being there. But, that was the reason why we are, separated like that. It allowed me to love myself. I wish him well. I wish him happiness, even though when I feel like that's not, wished on me. But that's fine though. I don't hold grudges on that, because it's like when people do that, that they need healing. A lot of times you have to try to understand where they're coming from, even when it hurts you. You have to understand that so you can make peace with yourself. Even though you may forgive that person, it's not like you're forgiving their actions or what they placed on you, but that's not my priority anymore. It's like about healing me. I don't wish anything on him, because there's times I did. I did, but it's just like, then when I allowed myself to really dive deep and see what the universe wanted me to know, I didn't love myself. I dealt with friends as well as, partners that I was willing to sacrifice my happiness, my self-worth, and my self-respect just to be able to keep this person in my life, just to say I'm in a relationship, or just to say this is my best friend. I'm my own best friend. My dad's my own best friend. My love of my past, my loved ones that has passed, even with my spiritual family. I had to allow myself to know what I deserve and what I shouldn't tolerate, what should I accept and what I'm not going to accept. You have to be able to allow yourself to put standards up. I've had people want to talk to me. I've had people want to take me out on a date, and it wasn't the fact is I'm like a bitter baby mama or anything like that. But when my life is already complicated, I want to be making sure that is this person dating me for me, or are you dating me because you who I'm related to. I don't ever want to be able to be in that type of situation. So rather be by myself. I don't like having a complicated life. I see what complications can make bigger problems out of you than you have already. But this is my time where I'm going off and healing. So I know my soulmates out there. I know my life partners out there somewhere. But I had to be able to make myself strong. And I appreciate the storm that I was placed in. I was comforted from it. At times it gets hard, and You had to be able to, ask for assistance from your archangels, being able to get that confirmation. You're almost at that finish line. Allow these things to take course. Allow yourself to reap the benefits of what is being told to you about the storm that you are being placed in. Allow yourself to raise your standards up. You know what type of relationships you have had, even with yourself. When you have to make, I've had family members that will make up excuses about the people that they're attached to just to make sure that they're not by themselves. And I said, and this will be the same reason why you will have every failed relationship, because you're allowing yourself to, basically, break yourself down. Like, it's more important to have somebody in my life than be by myself and heal me where I need to be healed at. When you allow yourself to do that, that's more of a blessing than anything. You don't need to be, I'd rather be single than be in a relationship where I got to wonder how I fit in your life, or if you really real about me. There's too many daggone, like I say all the time, there's too many diseases walking around here. There's so many diseases, they ain't even found a name for it yet. I mean, looking at this stuff about not carnivore, coronavirus. I be thinking, oh, y'all are gonna have a Hennessy virus, or a tequila virus, or what are all these different things y'all having. So, I appreciate what my storm has taught me. I appreciate what I had to learn through the midst of those tragedies, allowing myself to love myself more. There's people that, that I really had high regards for, and I see that they do things just because they don't like being alone, or just because they're trying to find happiness through the external instead of the internal. What you have to be able to find that within yourself. What you want, you have to find in yourself. If you want somebody to love you and give the same love out that you've given in a healthy way, you have to be able to give that relationship to yourself first. And when you do that, and you're allowing yourself to, be strengthened all by the tragedies you have endured in your life, that'll let you know that when you love yourself and you're not going to go anywhere less than that, oh, you're gonna find some people that's gonna love you the same, just the way you're giving out love like that, and they're gonna appreciate that. There's so many people I don't break way with because they thought they were gonna talk to me any kind of way, and I said, shoot, you came to me, I ain't come to you. You wanna get mad because things are not turning out your way, but then I had to tell people, are you doing exactly what the universe said? Because there's times I used to get mad in my feelings too, saying, okay, I did this and this and that, and you still ain't gave me this. No, the reason why we didn't give you that, you didn't do everything we told you to do. We told you to let go of things. We told you to forgive. Even when it was hard to forgive, that you're not forgiving, you know, you're not let me see. You're not excusing those actions that they placed on you. You're allowing yourself to know that there's people out there that are wounded. So that's how they deal with their pain, is by healing, hurting somebody else. It's sad that people are like that. It makes me feel bad for the people who have done that to me. But then I always pray, whatever you're trying to put on my life, I'm trying to write back to them. But I said the big difference between me and them, I'm telling you, whatever you try to place on my life, I'm sending it right back to you. But I'm going to send that vibe of healing, comfort, and love, because when you go out your way to try to hurt somebody or try to sabotage their life, you can't. What their journey is your journey. Don't expect to sit up here and live a happy life when you're sitting up here wreaking hell of havoc in somebody else's life and think good things are going to come for you. That's not how it goes. You may be living good now, but I'm telling you, people be feeling like, oh, ain't nothing happened to me or whatever. It doesn't come all the time exactly how you pushed it out. But then when it does come out, you'll know why. You will know absolutely why. That's why I allow myself, if I feel like I've done something to hurt somebody, and I said that's not my intent, but I apologize. But if you felt that way, but I try to be mindful of other people's feelings. I be very discerning, because I know at times, shoot, I used to, I didn't care. I'll just throw it to you like, hey, you got to respect that, because at least I honestly told you. But then I had to allow myself to, like, you wouldn't want somebody coming at you like that, so don't do that. Even when folks come at you like that, you don't have to sit up here and be like them. You can be better than them and just cut yourself off and keep going. And I've done that. And I tell people real quick, hey, I don't mind you having different, opinion than I do, but watch how you come at me about it. Because it's like, I love helping you. I love interacting with you. But if you can't respect me because this is what type of people you used to, I wouldn't care. I only got to tell you one time. If I got to tell you more than once, that's it. I'm done. I'll tell people real quick, it ain't nothing but me to just hear block, block. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm still doing me. I'm still going to be better at what I do every single day. Allow myself to love myself more every day. It is not going to make something like that going to make, make me feel like my world's going to come down, because there's so many people out there that appreciate what you're bringing to the table. They appreciate the fact is they can be able to look at their life and understand what's going on, because life sometimes can be very confusing. We go through a lot of things that we're trying so desperately to heal from. So you have to allow yourself to know, once you've been placed in that storm, baby, you start becoming that storm. It's just at that point. So when things come into your life, it's going to be some times where things are going to get really heavy and you feel like you're drowning in your own pain and sorrow. But there's a lot of things that is not going to bug you like it did before. You allow yourself to say, look at all the things you don't went through before. Look at things you endured in your life that you felt like you would never be able to get over. And then by some kind of miracle, some type of chance, those things turned around for you. But it's all about how you choose to look at them, all about how you go about it. There's a reason why everything happens the way it does. You have to allow yourself to see what is going on. Why am I keep going through these things? Because if you're allowing yourself not to learn the lesson in that space that you've been placed in, is going to be very repetitive until you get that. And at times, that sometimes it takes that, trust me, I know. But never allow yourself to feel like, oh, I'm stupid because I didn't catch on to this. No, it's not even about that. But sometimes you have been in certain situations like that for so long, it's kind of hard to jump out that, because that's not the norm. You're allowing yourself to see things a certain way for a long time. You're allowing yourself to feel this, or people doing things to you. You're going to get to that point where a lot of times universe will shake some stuff up just for you to be able to change how you do things, change how you go about it, change how you focus on things. And then when all these things are said and done, you're going to be so happy about what you did, how you did it. Because I look at my situation, I may not be where I want to be now, where I want to be, but then I allow myself to see the impact of I've been going through, just because of the fact is that I went through what I went through, and I'm grateful for that on so many levels. So, sorry, y'all, it took me so long to come back with another video. I was dealing with my granddaughter, trying to get her situated and feeding her. Because, if you have like a 2-year-old, you got to make sure everything's straight before you try to jump into something else. But I would love to give a post notification shout out to Bernadette Stewart, as well as Lady L. Peacock, and Roll Zolo, and Pranay the poet. Thank you so much for the support. It's so greatly appreciated. Drop me a line. Let me know if you resonate. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Tell somebody about the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Um, and know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved. And knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And I pray that everything that you're trying to bring into your reality, and the things you're trying to manifest, comes 100 times more than what you expected you were going to get, and it comes so much sooner than you thought it was. So if you need to get in touch with me and you don't feel comfortable with talking here, you can always find me on Facebook. I know a lot of people hit me up on my Gmail, but I always tell people, if you really got to get in touch with me at a fast, rate, you can always find me on, Facebook Messenger. I'm not accepting any friend requests. So I only decide to just stay connected with others at the Messenger. And whatever we talk about is confidential, million times confidential. Whatever we talk about there stays there. I always tell people, if you're living in the US, text me at 10 a.m. all the way until 10:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't answer anything before 10 o'clock, and I don't answer anything after 12. I mean, after 10:30. There are some times I do, when I know that there's a lot of people going through stuff. I say I'm supposed to be holding my boundaries like that, but it's just like, I know a lot of things has been really heavy with people. So, if I have that time, I go ahead and, reach out to them and say, hey, you know what, let's continue this tomorrow. I really need to get that recharge done, because it's like lately I've been feeling so heavy, not in a negative way. Well, both half and half, because it's like, me clearing myself and then feeling everybody else's energy that's trying to do the same. So it's like every time your energy, you connect with other empaths, it's like they're your charger. They're opening up more things for you, as well as the universe, when you're going through different levels of your life changes. So you can find me there. And if you're overseas, that the time doesn't pertain to you, I just reply to you as quick as I am possible. And I don't mind helping people. I said this is strictly for networking. I said I try to assist other people for their spiritual path and give them that understanding on why certain things the way they are and what to look for. So I will see y'all on my next video. Much love to you. Peace. Be well.